Welcome to Your Limitless Life, the podcast where creativity meets transformation. I'm Jane Bellante, artist, coach, and entrepreneur, here to help you let go of fear, embrace your power, and create the life and business you've always dreamed of. Each week, we'll explore the tools and stories that inspire growth and action. If you're ready to break free and live your limitless life, you're in the right place. Now let's begin. Welcome to Motivation Monday. I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to try to tag everybody in the group. So my name is Jane Bellante, and this is Motivation Monday. You could be live with me in my free Facebook group called the Limitless Creators Hub. If you're watching the replay or if you're listening on the podcast, welcome. You can always be live with me. Today we are talking about fear and your business. And this is going to be the last Motivation Monday of January. So we are kind of wrapping up the topic of fear. And the podcast on Wednesday is going to wrap up the whole month of fear. So I'm so glad that you're here. I really am. I'm like, it's been a lot for me to step into the power of possibility. It's been a lot. It has. And, I am just like you. I'm afraid of stuff. I tell myself things that aren't true. All of that, and it really is a dedication to your own self-worth and your own self-growth that will actually make the change. Because conceptually, we can think things, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but conceptually we can think and know things, but in our subconscious brain, it's saying, nope, that's not safe, and it's producing thoughts that keep us stuck. And so you've heard me say this a million times, but when you identify what those thoughts are and you're aware that you're having those thoughts, you can change them. So we're going to talk about that today. And by the way, I'd love your help on my YouTube channel. I'm really being intentional about growing that this year. And so anytime you felt called to help me, I would love it if you go to YouTube, watch my videos, even if it's just on in the background, and comment. That would be super, 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 super helpful. Hey, Pam. All right, so let's talk about fear in your business and seeking out something that is already within you, because that's what we're afraid of, right? That is what we're afraid of. We think we're not worthy. It literally all stems from worthiness. It really, really does. And I even have the other day, I don't even know what I was thinking of. I don't know what I was thinking of. I don't even necessarily know if I was sitting in the black hole, but something in my subconscious mind answered a question, and it said, because you don't deserve it. I told myself I didn't deserve whatever it was I was thinking about, right? So it is the subconscious brain. This is a strong, it has a strong argument, right? Because it's been arguing that argument for a long, long time. So what have you learned on the past downs that you have had, like the bad times, or that you've tried to do something and it didn't work? So what have you learned in the past downs that actually can propel you into the best of ups with more excitement than ever? So you've heard me say before, the repetitive things that we keep seeing in our life over and over and over, whatever it is for you, the repetitive things that keep you small, the repetitive things that keep you from stepping into what you actually dream of, we use the failures as evidence of why we can't. Instead of failing faster to learn faster so that you can step into your dream. Does that make sense? And I know that you've heard fail faster before, and if you haven't, that's what this means, right? We can fail and take it as evidence that we suck, or we can fail and take it as evidence as what did I learn from that and how am I tweaking this to keep going after what it is that I know that I am meant to do. Does that make sense? Tell me if that makes sense. Y'all are quiet in the chat today. Let's get you going. Let's get you excited. This is Motivation Monday. This is Motivation Monday. And I know that you're listening and taking this in, and I love that so much. But let's start getting hyper. Let's start getting excited about what it is that we're doing. What it is that we're doing. I see there's 5 people here live, and that is amazing. I am grateful that you are here live with me, because I could use this. Let's just use this as an example. I could go, oh, there are only 5 people here. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody's seeing me. But I know I have information to share. Why isn't this working? Why isn't this happening? And instead, like, that would be like, I'm not worthy, and I better stop doing this. I better stop myself from doing this, right? My subconscious brain can kick in the nobody's here live with you. Even though people are listening to the podcast, people are watching the replays on YouTube and here, right? I could take this and flip it to what if negative and build the fear inside of myself that I'm not actually worthy. Why the F am I even doing this? I could do that. But that's what I'm here to say today. And again, if you took the activation class with me, which by the way, I haven't taken down yet, but it's supposed to be down today. You heard me say, what if the dream that you have is your intuition that you are supposed to be doing this? That's why you continually dream of it. And the fear is the lesson for you to overcome so that you can do what you want. Because on the other side of fear is freedom. It's freedom. Yes, we still go back into the lack hole. We definitely do. Because those thoughts are neural pathways in our brain. They're literally ingrained in our brain. We can't do anything to take them out. We can't have surgery to pull it out, right? It's there. It is there. It's a repetitive thought pattern. And if you can have a repetitive thought pattern of negative, you can also have a repetitive thought pattern of positive. Say that 10 times fast, right? Oh, Audrey's here. Audrey. Audrey. I love it. Audrey, you're the best. Okay. Anyways, she knows what I'm talking about. I think everybody just clap for her. That's what I want to say. Everybody clap for Audrey because she freaking did it. Okay. So we use the past downs as evidence of why we can't do something. Or we proclaim, and this was me, so we proclaim that what we're doing is not fast enough. So like we start something new and then we go, this isn't happening fast enough, so this is evidence that I have to quit because it's not immediate gratification, right? So do you get that? Immediate gratification, we want it now. We know we want to create something in our business, and so we actually let ourselves start, and then it doesn't happen fast enough, so we use that as evidence that we can't do it. We use it as evidence that we are not good enough to do it. So we kind of say like, oh, well, that didn't work. I can't do that. So what are you afraid of? And I know that most of the people that are here that are engaging with me have a business. So what are you afraid of doing in your business? And why are you afraid of it? And if you're afraid of it because you're afraid to fail, if you're saying, I'm not good enough, so it will fail, or no, what if no one comes? That'll be a failure. What if people don't like me? Blah, blah, blah. What if what you're doing, and I'm not even saying what you're doing, what you are doing is failing yourself first. Does that make sense? We are failing ourselves first so that we don't fail. I'm pausing for dramatic effect. We fail ourselves first so we don't fail. It's actually insane. We give up on ourselves so that we don't fail. We won't do something we really dream of doing because we're afraid of failing. It's like a catch-22. It's like hypocritical almost, right? Like, we're afraid of failing, so we don't let ourselves even try. Because what if negative? We don't even give ourselves a chance. So fear of failure then is an innate sense of unworthiness. And again, conceptually, we can tell ourselves anything we want. We can tell ourselves we're worthy. We can tell ourselves we can do this. I can do this, right? We can tell ourselves that. But subconsciously, we're telling ourselves, what if negative instead? What if I fail? What if people call me stupid? What if people laugh or scoff at me? What if I look too fat? What if I look too skinny? What if negative? What if negative? What if negative? What if negative? Over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So we never let ourselves commit to changing ourselves or building the business that we actually want. And like, again, we talked about in the activation class, what if the dream you have for yourself or your business is actually your intuition, your innate knowing that this is what you're supposed to be doing if you only would just let yourself. You know, like, we can use external circumstances all we want to tell us why we can't. And those external circumstances are likely something that is super repetitive in your life. Super repetitive. And so if you look back at the circumstances that you are using as evidence to tell you why you can't step into your dream, take a second and pause. Because those circumstances are your repetitive lack hole that you let yourself get into. And listen, I'm not saying I don't do this. I'm a human. Like, this is what we do. And particularly for a creative business, I understand it because we're all over the place. And society really, truly enforces the fact that we need to have everything immediately. And so if we've tried something and it didn't immediately happen, that subconscious brain of yours is going to kick in and go, see, we can't do this. You are safe in the fear. You're safe in the unworthiness. This is what we know. The gross feeling through your body all the time, the repetitiveness of that. This is what we know. And that's why it's so hard to change unless you are aware of what you are actually telling yourself, not just conceptually. For me, it would be like, well, conceptually, I'd be like, well, I know I'm worthy. Like, I know that, right? But my subconscious brain was always coming from, you're not enough. This isn't enough. Not enough. Not enough. Not enough. And guess what continually showed up? Not enough, not enough, not enough, not enough, not enough, not enough. And when I'm getting into my lack hole, that's exactly what is repeating in my brain all the time. And so if I was, and I get this now because I've been working on this for a long time. I've taken a ton of coaching programs, a ton of like root coaching programs, helping me get to the root of my limiting beliefs so that I can help others too. I can see it in others and gently, hopefully, guide them out of it. Fear is the greatest teacher. What aren't you letting yourself do because you're failing yourself first? It's your guide to freedom. This fear is your guide to freedom because if you get past it, the overwhelming good feelings that you have feel good, right? Good feelings feel good. It's crazy. Why do we let ourselves sit in fear, sit in lack, sit in unworthiness, sit in I just feel like crap all the time? I'm sludging my way through life just hoping that something will happen for me, hoping that something will happen for my business. we do it to ourselves. Is this resonating with you? Do you hear what I am saying? Because we can start our businesses because, like, this is our intuition going, I should be doing this. And so we get into it and we get started, and then we let the subconscious thoughts overrule everything. And then we doubt ourselves. We say it's too hard. We say we're afraid. Well, what if somebody, talks bad about me? And guess what? Someone's going to talk bad about you no matter what. No matter what. And social media makes it worse because social media is curated. It's curated. Not many people are coming on showing their real selves. They're showing you curated pictures of their art. They're showing you, whatever they're showing you. Like their house is perfect. Their family is perfect. Their face is perfect. Their body is perfect. Blah, 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 blah. Like, what is perfect? What is perfect? I think perfect is actually learning the lessons that you're supposed to learn and moving beyond that. That's perfect. That's perfection. Just letting yourself be who you are takes that sinking, yucky feeling out of your gut. And it gives you a good feeling about being yourself. And when you align with who you truly are, especially as a creative business owner, it makes it so much easier to allow the flow to come back to you, right? Because you're giving from your true self. You're creating this business from your true aligned self, something that you're so passionate about, and you're allowing yourself to show that to others. And guess what? Your people are screaming for a community or for somebody to look up to be inspired by, that is actually truly themselves. They're not curated. They're getting on like me, who tried to go live 6 times this morning and then my computer shut off. I don't care. I know I'm supposed to be here. I'm a hot mess. I am. But so are you, right? We're all hot messes. That's the thing. Society makes us believe that we have to fit in. We gotta be like everybody else. Our art needs to look like everybody else's. Well, this is what's popular. I better try to do this, right? Or like, you have to go live on Facebook. And like inside you're like, this is not aligned with me. This is not what I do. I'm not a public speaker. Why do I have to go live? But you do it anyways, and then you feel like crap because that's not aligned with you. And we listen to these people, and I know that, if there are other coaches out there, they're doing their best with what they know. But listen, you can't just take blanket advice and make it work for your business. Because I'm sure that most of you have, and you're sitting there going, well, I don't like this. I can't believe I have to do this. And then you're saying to yourself, well, I'm doing this. Why isn't it working? Because you freaking hate it. It's not aligned with who you're supposed to be. And then we get into the fear again, like, I'm not good enough. People are going to laugh at me. This is never going to work. I'm never going to build this, blah, 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 blah. Getting on the other side of this fear, understanding that your dream is your intuition, if you would just let yourself step into it, is freedom. It's feeling aligned with who you really are, and you actually can feel comfortable with that because it is truth. It is truth. It's truth. We feel like we don't fit into society because we don't. We don't. Because that's all made up. It's all made up. It's a back and forth. We slip back into the black hole. We stand outside of it. We climb to the top of the mountain. Like it's the hills and the valleys, right? The hills and the valleys. But the more that you can get, at the bottom of the hill, like out of the valley at the bottom of the hill, or maybe to the top of the mountain, the more you can let yourself get there, the more confident you start to become about showing and being your true self. So I want to leave you with this, this live was a mess. I'll be editing it and splicing it together to put it onto the podcast and to put it onto YouTube. So if you want to listen to the whole thing again, go to the Your Limitless Life podcast on Apple or Spotify, or you can watch it on my YouTube channel at Jane Bellante Art on YouTube. Involve yourself in the opportunities that are around you. So one way to really, really let yourself step into whatever your dream is to collaborate with another business owner that is doing something similar or complementary to what it is that you want to do. So involve yourself. Just do it. It's easier with a pal. Okay? It really is easier with a pal. And if you are in my mastermind, you know that I've assigned you accountability partners because it is easier with a pal. It's easier. When you have somebody that you trust and you can support each other, it's easier to step into your dream. Okay? So does that make sense? Tell me if that makes sense. If you don't see any opportunities just immediately surrounding you, like I don't really have anything, here's what I'm going to tell you. Create those opportunities. Start reaching out to people that you kind of know, you kind of have a relationship with, or get super brave. If you have an intuition, a little spark inside of you, like, oh man, I really wish I could connect with her. She's so cool. Do it. Just do it. Just step into it. Like I have stepped into like the scariest of things. And everything on the other side of it is so much better. You know, I've asked people, big people in my industry to collaborate with me. And it always turned out good. And if they said no, who cares? What does that mean about you? And that is one thing that you should also be thinking of, is if somebody says no to you, or if you fail doing something that you think you really want to do, what are you making that mean about you? So like say I reached out to somebody with 2 million followers and I said, hey, I really love you. I'd love to have you on my podcast. And they said no. I'm not going to make that mean anything about me. Maybe they said no because they're too busy. Maybe they said no because they have a huge ego. Like, who knows why they said no? All I know is that it wasn't meant to be and that I was brave enough to ask in the first place. Yeah? Collaborate with somebody that you know already, or be brave and collaborate with somebody that you are just kind of acquaintances with, like you know each other but not really. Again, if you get this intuition that something needs to happen or somebody's name pops in your head, I want to tell you that that is not a mistake. That isn't a mistake. If you don't see any opportunities, make them. Make them. Could you do some kind of a fun challenge with somebody? Could you do an art show with somebody? Could you decide that you're going to, have, are you a store owner? Maybe you're just going to have a quick pop-up event and invite some people, right? Either create the opportunity that you're afraid of or get somebody to walk through the fear with you. Does that make sense? Like I know I keep saying, does that make sense? Does that make sense? But I want to make sure that you're getting what I'm saying. And here's what Kim said. Ugh, I must stop internalizing all that crap and taking it as more evidence that I fail. Yeah, right. Because first of all, like, how long did you actually commit to trying to make what you wanted to work? So like, I know that I have tried so many things, and I talked about this just a little while ago. We say it doesn't happen fast enough. That's not fast enough. And so then like, it's not working and I fail. I suck, right? So instead, what if you actually let yourself be committed to building the business that you want? And, it will happen for you as soon as you are available to allow it to happen for you. You get that? The second you are open to allowing it, without internalizing it, without judging yourself, without telling yourself you suck, you're not worthy, you're a failure, you could fail, someone could say you look fat, someone could say you look skinny, blah, 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 right? What if you were committed to allowing without restriction? And when you hear me say, like, just explore your way through it, what do you think I'm doing? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I mean, I have a lot of training and everything, so I know steps. But, like, I am just feeling my way through this. I'm feeling my way through the fact that I know that I am here to help you see the worthiness inside of yourself so that you can create with ease. Life, art, business. I know that's why I'm here. And the people that I'm working with, they are having massive shifts too. Massive. One just came right before I went live today, and I literally started crying. You know who you are. It is powerful to understand how we are keeping ourselves stuck, the lies that we are telling ourselves, and the actual truth of who we are. And when you step into that truth, it feels good. This is what I am talking about when I am talking about aligning yourself with your true identity. Who really are you? And then not failing before you fail. Because if you don't let yourself do it, guess what? You will never do it. Henry Ford said, think you can, think you can't. They're both correct, right? And I know I botched the quote, but that's how it goes. Our thoughts create our life. You've heard me say this before. This isn't new. We are not our thoughts. We are the thinker of our thoughts. We can change our thoughts at any time. The awareness of what you're saying is how you change it. Stop beating yourself up. Take that phrase out of your vocabulary. Take it out. Take it out. You don't need to do that. Why do we do that? We wouldn't beat up the people we love, right? So let's understand, do we truly love ourselves? That is where it stems from. Do we love ourselves? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. You know, I used to stand in front of the mirror and just be like, Jesus, so fat. How did I gain all this weight? I know how I gained it, right? Well, I'm not going to go into that. But I would tell myself I was fat. I hate myself. Oh my God, I hate myself. You know, and now I stand in front of the mirror and I'm like, I love you. You are awesome. It's a different mindset. I can tell myself I hate myself, or I can tell myself I love myself. What feels freaking better? What feels better? So what if, like, 5 times a day, every single day, 5 times a day, you can check it off. You can say to yourself, I am amazing. I'm amazing. What if you said that 5 times a day to yourself? Who's in? Who wants to do that with me? Who wants to do that with me? 5 times a day. I'm amazing. Set alarms on your watch or on your phone. Every time it goes off, you go, I am amazing. Right? It's a thought reversal because your subconscious brain is probably telling yourself something else. It's a thought reversal, and it's empowering, and it feels good. You can let yourself smile instead of like feel like crap. Pam's in. Who else is in? Who else is in? Who else wants to do I am amazing 5 times a day? I'm not going to remind you, okay? I got my own stuff to do. Write it on a sticky note. Write it on 5 sticky notes and put it in 5 different places in your house. Who's in? Kim's in. Audrey says, I commit to tell myself I'm amazing 5 times a day. Yes. Yes. Melanie says, I will set an alarm. I will set an alarm. This is you stepping into the power of pure possibility. It's so good. It's so good. Why do we want to beat ourselves up? Why do we want to hate ourselves? We don't. It sucks. It sucks. It doesn't feel good. Royce is here. Royce says yes. Royce is in. So the challenge is, and I'm not going to follow up, you got to be committed to it, right? Commitment makes habits. 5 times a day, you are telling yourself with the most excitement and the bestest feeling you can conjure inside of your body, and you're saying, I am amazing. Like, just say it right now. You know, you can say it right now, unless somebody's sitting next to you. You're in a library or something, right? Or at Starbucks. Or do it anyways. Who cares? Who cares what they think, right? Micaiah said, I just made my husband say it. Yes. Yes. Do it. Commit to it. It's the commitment that makes the habit. Think of how committed you are to telling yourself you suck right now. Let's change that. Let's change that. And you will see the fear disappear, and you will start using the fail faster idea of like, okay, that didn't work. I wonder why. What did I do? How could I align with my customer even more so that I can help solve their problems even more so that this does work? Who can I partner with to, start getting in front of other people's audiences, to start really building connection with that person so that we can grow our businesses together? I am amazing makes you it forces you to step into the power of possibility. Instead of I suck, I'm not worthy, this isn't going to work, I'm beating myself up. So here's the thing. We're saying I'm amazing 5 times a day, and we are taking the phrase beating myself up out of our vocabulary forever. Anytime you hear yourself saying, I'm going to beat myself up, like anytime that comes into your brain, you're going to instantly go, I am amazing. You're going to stop it. You're going to put a better feeling thought inside of your brain, and you're going to move on. Does that sound good? Are we doing this together? So sorry for all the technical glitches today. I'm so glad that you were here. I actually think I might go live on YouTube right now for like a mixed media Monday little fun. I feel like having a little fun before all of my one-on-one calls today. So if you're not doing anything and you're just hanging out creating, go join me over there. I probably will start it in about 15 minutes. Getting yourself on the other side of fear is freedom in your life, in your art, and in your business. So thank you so much for being here. By the way, if you are having a hard time just letting yourself create actually, it really works with anything. I have a class, if you haven't taken it, it's called Letting Go. I will give it to you for free. If you put the comment hashtag let go in the comments, I will make sure that you get a link to that class and you can take it for free. But I have to tell you, you actually have to take it. You can't just get it. You won't change just from getting it. You actually have to do it, okay? So have the best week. Join me either on YouTube or on the Your Limitless Life podcast on Wednesday. I will be talking about fear, wrapping the whole month of overcoming fear up. And then on Friday, I have, you want to see it? I'm going to show you what I have. I have this tutorial, this art journaling tutorial. I think it's showing backwards for you, but yeah, it's showing. Is it showing backwards? Maybe it's not. I have this tutorial for you on Friday, on Art Journaling Fridays on YouTube. And last week I actually did a huge spread with one of Royce's papers called Homer Hardware. So go and check that out. I used some crackle paste. I made lots of mistakes in there, and then I show you how to correct them too. So that is on YouTube, Art Journaling Fridays. I think I'm going to go do Mixed Media Monday right now because I wanna. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll do some gel printing or something. I don't know. But I'm going to figure it out. And I just want to thank you for being here. And I will see you next week for Motivation Monday. Have a great week, everybody.